Okay, we're going to do exactly what we did yesterday, except it's not arithmetic. We are going to do the same thing that we did yesterday, except to geometric. There's a multiply in there. Okay, so how do you find the sixth term? How do you find the sixth term if it's geometric? What does geometric mean? Like 2, 4, 8. You multiply, you don't add and subtract, so there's a different formula. Well, it's the same as a little 6. A little 6 is the term that you're trying to find. You still need to know the first term. They give us a first term. It's -3. There's not an addition sign. There's a multiplication sign. There's a -2. You need to put that in parentheses. Raised to the number -1 over here. Well, the number over here is 6, so you're going to raise it to 1 less than that, the 5th. So you just plug that all into your calculator, and it'll give you the term. Use parentheses and do a -2 to the 5th, raise it to the 5th, and then multiply it by a -3. And you should get 96, which stands for the 6th term of this geometric sequence. Let's do another one. We only have 3 templates, so we're trying to find the 8th term. You need to know the first term. In yesterday's assignment, it was addition. You need to know that that's multiplication. The R is the next thing that comes right there. There's the R is the next thing, and R is the ratio, and they give us the ratio. Put it in parentheses. You raise it to the power, and the power is 1 less than the one that you're trying to find, 7. I like doing the 0.25 raised to the 7th first, and then multiplying by 100. Wow. And your answer is going to end up being 0.006. First term goes here. Ratio goes here. This is 1 less than the term that you're trying to find. Okay, find an equation just like we did with arithmetic. Again, if you're finding an equation, you're not finding an answer. You're going to have a variable as part of your answer. This one's easier than yesterday. You don't have to simplify this one. All you're going to do is AN. The first term is 5. Multiplied, because there's a multiplied. What's the ratio? Well, I'm multiplying by 2. I'm multiplying by 2. That's my ratio. Put it in parentheses. And we don't know what the number is, but we know that it's n-1. 1 less than that one. You do not have to simplify it. Yesterday you had to do the distributive property. Today you don't even have to do it. You can just leave it like that. Okay, let's do another one. AN equals the first term, 64, times something to the n-1. Okay, it's not as easy to figure out what the number is in between the 64 and the 16. So I'm going to do the A divided by B. The one after 16 divided by the one before. The one after divided by the one before. So what is 16 divided by 64? 0.25. 0.25. And if you don't think I'm right, take 64 and multiply by 0.25 and see if you get 16. Take 16, multiply by 0.25 and see if you get 4. Okay, last page. Finding the sum. Finding the sum. Here is the formula. Kind of confusing, but the sum of 80 numbers, the sum of 40 numbers, whatever it is, you need to know the first term. You need to know the ratio. This n goes hand in hand with that n, and 1 minus r. So I'll write it up here and we'll go through it one more time. The sum equals I'll go back one more time because I'm going to go all the way back so I can see it one more time. A1, okay. You need to know the first term. 1 minus the ratio to the nth divided by 1 minus the ratio. And that is about it. Okay, here we go. Let's try this one. Okay, the sum of 10 numbers equals A1 stands for the first number, 2 parentheses, divided by 1. Okay, that didn't change. Where did I get 2 from? That's what A1 stands for, you guys. That's where A1, that's where I got the 2. And the 1 is the 1. And it needs to be 1 minus 3. The R. I'm just going to follow it. 1 minus, put the ratio in parentheses and raise it to the 10th power. If I were you, I would probably simplify the denominator to a -2 to make your life easier. Now, I would probably figure out what the top is and leave the bottom a -2. I think that would be the best thing to do so you don't get it wrong. I would just plug this all into your calculator on the top. Put a 2 in, put a parenthesis in, put a 1 in, minus another parenthesis, 3, parenthesis, raised to the 10th, parenthesis, and write that number down. 2 negative equal a positive, and take that number and divide it by 2. It's 59048, and that's it. Okay, let's do one more. We're going to find the sum of the first 5 numbers for this one. A1 goes here, 3. You need a 1 minus, and you need a 1 minus. That's on your formula. The ratio goes here, the -0.5 goes here, raised to the 5th power. Raised to the 5th power. All over 1 minus a -0.5, which is the ratio again. So what I would do is I would make 2 negatives equal a positive. This is really 1.5 in the denominator. I always simplify the denominator first. I would plug this all into your calculator, so I'll wait for you guys. Okay, here we go. Let's plug the 3 in, a parenthesis, a 1, a minus, a parenthesis, a -0.5, a parenthesis, raised to it, the carry key, to the 5th with another parenthesis. And that equals 3.09 something if you did that right, and divide it by 1.5, and you're going to get 2.06 for the sum of this. Okay, that's all this one is. Have a good day, and we'll talk to you later.